So I can see when he's going around you that he's starting to measure himself. He's starting to hold himself, right? But he's still too closed in the chest. Does that make sense? You know, it's not coming open in the chest and up, right? It's going like this and then shifting back and forth. So when I push, he goes right. I need him to catch that, right? I don't want to catch it for him anymore. Clearly, in the beginning, we had to say, "Hey, let's not do that," right? So that's why he wants to go back because he's not lengthening the front of his body out when I push. He's tightening. Personally, I feel like him. It's almost like he takes his elbows in and goes like that and tries to use the base of his neck up high. And he's strong. He's a strong horse, so that's how he could pull it off. But eventually, when you reach collection, the hole or the problem in the front is so obvious. Yeah. Nice. I want both shoulders to come straight out in front. Nice. Because you can only push the hind legs under as much as the front end stays even weight. Nice. See? But I won't let him put too much weight on that right. The neck lengthens itself. Well, yeah, because when he takes his elbows in, he drops down, right? He tips over the front, and then that's when he tries to use this part of his neck and sitting down to solve his problem, which makes him unpredictable because it's compression. It's not, when you push the hind legs or when you get to the point of pushing the hind legs, right? You want them to rotate under, not squish down or get wide. Right. So the only way for the hips to come under is if the energy is coming through the top of the body. So if he's closing here and dropping down and tipping over the front, which all horses do, the rope walking video I did, I think I sent that to you. If not, I will. That horse is super obvious because he's heavier, right? And he's not as strong, long loin, weaker croup, and he's super obvious and he's always doing that. Well, they're all doing that. It's just some it's not so obvious. He does that and then he goes, "Oh shit, that's not going to work." Right? And he tightens himself up and he sits down because he can. A weaker horse doesn't do that. They bolt or they do something different. So when I rock him back, he's tipped over his front and I want him to rearrange that. Make sense? See, and I want him to catch himself too. I don't want to have to touch him. I want him to do it. He knows enough now, like that he needs to bring both shoulders forward. Yes, there's a good one on my YouTube showing it of my youngest stallion, Merlin. What is a straight horse? I think it's called. I'll try to remember to send you those two because it shows it from the front and I let him, he's young, right? So he hasn't collected or I mean, naturally, but not because I've asked much, and I let him go like this, going back, and then I say, stay here, and you can see the change in the shoulders because we have to avoid this in the front or the back, right? In Merlin, I do it standing on the side of him because he understands the premise, right? Your horse right now, I still have to block the front. If I move to the side, I'd lose him out the right, and the whole sequence would happen. The chest would come together, he would tip over the front. Yes, there. See, then he starts to go back straight as well. See there, it just deviated to the right. But I need him to correct it. Part of it is the way he has responded in his neck at the base. You have to treat it a little different. If you keep touching it, nothing changes. Like you almost have to startle it back. A horse that is down or has a different problem, your aids are effective. With him, I touched that shoulder, nothing happened. So that means he's not catching it. Right. In the beginning, you have to explain it. Nice. Really, it's the left shoulder that's the problem. It just deviates to the right when you apply it. Nice. See, he straightened himself, and then the neck relaxes. Yeah. It's just mechanics. If you line it up, the neck is where you want it. Yeah. If you don't, it's not. It really has nothing to do with the neck. Like Nuno said, the neck should hang out of the shoulders like a chandelier. Yeah. Nice. As it should be. Yeah. His neck is not as short as it looks. I've had horses like that. Lots of them. I'll see a horse and it looks like conformationally it has a really short neck. And then I work with it and I realize that's not the case. It's just when we don't understand these principles, we ride the neck. That's our nature. And it's their nature. They go, oh, we're riding the neck. Let me help you. And it just isn't going to work mechanically. It's just not. Nice. Uh-uh. That shoulder, that right one needs to come straight towards me, not to the, nope, not like that. Nice. Good boy. And now that he's following my body, I might have a chance of changing that shoulder with an aid. Do you understand? Right now, my body is the aid. That's how I can catch it like that. See, it's like I can, like you come and see one of my horses and, you could just, you get them dialed in, they'll just do that. They'll hold up a leg. Where do you want it? It's fun. I love it. You know, I would do it all the time. And obviously you have to tune them in. Like this is what we're doing. Yes. Right. That's it. Because it's really about the left. He just has to stop shifting right to change the left. Does that make sense? Yeah. Uh-uh. But there's something about horses that have really, really used the base of their neck that to change it, you almost have to startle them back so they get away from it. I don't know what it is. It's purely feel, just knowing horses. Yes. Nice. Oh, oh, okay. I don't know. No. I mean, I will do flexions. Hang on. There you go. Nice. What a good boy. I know it. It's difficult.